This is Motor Coach Travel News, MTN, from the American Bus Association. Here's Dan Ronan.
Welcome to ABA's Motor Coach Travel News. I'm Dan Ronan in Washington. ABA's leadership sits down with new Transportation Secretary Anthony Foxx in Washington. ABA President and CEO Peter Pantuso was joined at the meeting with ABA's Chairman Tom Gibran, Vice Chairman John Meyer, and our Senior Vice President for Government Affairs and Policy, Clyde Hart. Peter Pantuso joins us now.
We were able to talk to the Secretary not only about the bus industry, kind of what the industry is all about, its size, its scope, using a lot of information from the foundation that it's put together, but we were also able to talk about some of the substantive issues. You know, the administration had just come out with its proposal for reauthorization, so we addressed some of the issues in their proposal, some of which we think are a good idea and some not so much. And we also talked about the concern that we have that while the department is doing a good job in terms of trying to track down illegal companies, the pendulum may have swung too far, and they're going too far, too aggressively, putting companies that are good, hard-working, safe companies and putting them on the bubble.
There's been some discussions now, and FMCSA is actually considering beginning hearings and discussion about the idea of raising the insurance rules right now from $5 million to an undisclosed figure.
In the case of the motor coach industry, the current rates, liability rates, are $5 million per company as a minimum, and that $5 million is per occurrence. And the Motor Carrier Safety Advisory Council has been debating that for the last few days. We weighed in with the Secretary during our meeting. We said, you know, maybe that's something you need to look at, but to arbitrarily say you need to double the rates, which are going to significantly increase the cost of doing business to operators and probably put smaller operators out of business, that's just not the right thing to do.
And you're just back from the Motor Coach Safety Advisory Council meeting where this issue of insurance was front and center.
One of the big things that came out of that is they should separate bus from truck when they're looking at comparing different classes of companies with one another, and that's certainly a big win for the bus industry. We shouldn't be compared to trucks and their safety rating. And then beyond that, we talked a lot about, for a couple of days, a lot about the insurance rates. And the good news is there was an understanding that buses are different than trucks, and just doubling the rates don't make a lot of sense without better data and more information.
All of this means that the government affairs and policy offices are going to be very busy.
So there's so many issues in reauthorization that affect directly the motor coach industry, the travel industry, and the tourism industry. And, oh, by the way, they've got to reauthorize it, at least according to law, by September. Now, nobody believes that's going to happen. There are going to be some continuances, but they are working day and night to make sure that we get our message in the reauthorization bills.
Seems amazing to think that Marketplace is now only a little bit more than 6 months away.
So many of our members who haven't been to St. Louis maybe in 10 years or longer, or who have never been, are going to be so surprised at all that they see and how much fun it is. And by the way, they're going to get a lot of business done. You know, the study that John Dunham put together through the foundation showed how much business is being generated, and there's almost a 40-to-1 return on your investment from having come to Marketplace.